know. It's only with Rob. You know how many agents called me and said, you got to watch out for him. But I'm still pulling for the Lakers. I'm still a Laker, and I will always be a Laker.
The ripples are still moving outbound in the pool after the piece on ESPN.com by Baxter Holmes yesterday. Lakers 2.0, the failed reboot of the NBA's crown jewel, portraying a franchising crisis that somehow found a way to send Kobe Bryant back in time to have dinner with Ulysses S. Grant or Cary Grant or Heath Ledger or somebody. Commissioner Adam Silver joined Get Up this morning and insisted remain calm, all is well, all is well.
That's just the way it is.
I just say what we have talked about previously is making that change in 2022. It has to be negotiated with the Players Association, and I'll just say we are in ongoing discussions with them on that issue.
Sidetracked from
Brian Windhorst is back with us on SportsCenter. All right, Adam Silver is confident the Lakers can right their ship. Are you confident that they can right their ship?
Depends on your definition of the word confident, Keith. I do think that the table is set for them to be okay. They've got $35 million in cap space. They got the number 4 pick, and they still play. I just checked in the city of Los Angeles. I agree that they've had a tough month. They had a tough season, but their situation is set up to recover in a pretty meaningful way. Do I think we'll be in Los Angeles for Game 1 of the finals next year? I do not, but I do think better times are ahead.
Remember, the Clippers managed to fail in L.A. for like 30 uninterrupted seasons, but that's another topic. Woj reported today that the GM of the Rockets, Daryl Morey, is making all of his players who are not named Harden available in trade talks, including Chris Paul. Chris Paul, very good friends with LeBron. Is there any chance that he could wind up with LeBron with the Lakers?
Physiologically,
very highly unlikely. The Lakers would have to use all their cap space, that type of a deal, and also trade draft picks. Frankly, they can do better than Chris Paul. I think they'll have their sights on some younger players. Pairing two 34-year-olds who are in long-term contracts are difficult. But look for the Lakers to make some other inquiries with other players who might be in the trade market.
And lastly, relative to the finals, the current holder of the Spike Lee chair of fans getting involved in games. The league, we understand, has now spoken to the Raptors about Drake's behavior during the games. Is he going to be an issue? Are they going to get him a seat belt? What are the plans during the finals?
Just a little bit too big.
Something between sitting quietly with his hands in his lap and giving the coach a massage. Somewhere in that zone is more appropriate. Drake can cheer and be happy, but he can't step on the court and he can't step to the bench, which is the rule for everybody, including you, Keith, if you had those seats.
We used to have those seats for the Clippers, but that's, again, another story. That's another reason why they failed for 30 years in a row. Brian Windhorst at the finals. Great, thanks for your time, Brian.
They have played rounds of golf in the past, and years ago, Peyton Manning shared a conversation he had with Tiger Woods that on cold snap counts, he'd say Tiger to snap on 1 and Phil to snap on 2. It was a reference to their world golf rankings when Tiger was number 1 and Mickelson was number 2. A few years later, after playing in Denver, Manning told Tiger the biggest difference with the Broncos offense and the Colts offense is the snap count. McIlroy is on 1, Tiger is on 2. Then Tiger looked at Peyton in the eye and said, I'm going to get that fixed. Woods soon won 2 events and reclaimed the number 1 ranking. And then he called Peyton to make sure Tiger was back on 1 in the snap count. And reunited, and it looks so good. The pair playing together in a Pro-Am at the Memorial today and coming out to the first tee, and Tiger looking pretty good. Having a good time as well as Peyton. Again, Tiger's really loose around Peyton. Peyton has the second most wins in NFL history. Tiger, the second most major wins. Now, check out this shot from Tiger on the 4th hole. He nearly aces it. Inches from the cup. Strong front 9 for him. On 18, you would see Peyton with the chance for a birdie. Now, Peyton underwent spinal fusion surgery, came back to win a Super Bowl. Tiger underwent back fusion surgery, came back to win the Masters. They share a lot in common, as you see. Peyton knocking down that birdie. And then afterwards, Peyton talked about coming back and dealing with injuries and then dealing with success.
Whether that's encouraging.
I think the most impressive thing is how he's been able to adjust and be adaptive to playing in a new physical state. And that's kind of what I did. You know, maybe to use a baseball analogy, I couldn't throw the 100-mile-an-hour fastball anymore, but you could still work the outside edges of the plate, and you can still strike a guy out that way. And he struck a lot of guys out down there in Augusta a few weeks ago and came home with the win. And so that's what's that to me is the most impressive thing, is how adaptive he's been.
He's gotten so much better. I mean, when we first played, he was just kind of starting out the game. But now that he's retired, he's playing a lot more golf, and you know, that's been pretty cool for me to be able to play with him throughout the years, and to know that what he's gone through, to see him get ready for the season, and what he's been able to accomplish, you know, after all those surgeries, and then, you know, to see you know, to walk around greatness like this is always fun.
And our favorite caddy, Michael Collins, joining us now. And you had the chance to walk with Tiger and Peyton today. How would you describe that and the atmosphere around them?
Provide for them beyond their careers.
Well, the atmosphere was electric because between every hole, Peyton was signing all kinds of autographs and engaged with the crowd. When they were playing golf, Tiger and Peyton were needling each other and having fun. Tiger was really relaxed. Can I just tell you, on the front nine, Tiger did not miss a fairway, did not miss a green, and on the fourth hole, the par 3, almost had a hole-in-one. I have rarely seen Tiger this loose and fun in a while, and if he plays like this during the tournament, it's game over.
Okay, but there is a big difference from a Pro-Am and then playing on Thursday. Based on what you saw from Tiger, I understand he was relaxed, but what do you expect to see tomorrow in round 1 from him?
Which has a £10 million sponsorship.
Yeah, it's funny. Even Tiger has a nickname for the guy who plays fantastic golf. He calls him Ranger Rick. For Tiger Woods at this event, what's going to matter the most on Thursday during round 1 is finding the fairway. There's rain in the forecast, so if you get in that wet rough, it's going to be an issue even for Tiger Woods. But if he finds fairways, I expect Tiger to go as low as possible for the day.
Yeah, we saw him struggle with that at Bethpage Black a couple weeks ago. He dominated on Jack's course earlier in his career, but his last win there was 7 years ago. Tiger starting on the back nine first, teeing off just before 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Always a pleasure, Michael Collins.
Television in the background, watching it, say, "Oh, this is an interesting game. I'm a little bit more interested. I'll watch it chance, especially with the flux of football that's in television. But it's up to us how we want to make it see. It's the detail.
We have been patient. It's almost here. It's been 8 days since the Warriors played a basketball game for the first time in their dynasty run. Klay Thompson and Golden State starting a final series on the road. Game 1 tomorrow night in Toronto on ABC. And while Kevin Durant will be out, Boogie Cousins return, maybe getting close. Here's Nick Friedel.
The club that you joined and the club that you're with now.
The fact that there's even a chance DeMarcus Cousins might play in Game 1 Thursday is stunning for many within the Warriors organization. After watching him tear his quad on April 15th, the feeling was that Cousins had just played his final game in a Golden State uniform.
DeMarcus has done an amazing job coming back from the injury, which we felt at the time was season-ending. If this were the regular season, I'd throw him out there and you know, he'd play whatever minutes he could tolerate, and we'd build him up from there. It's not the regular season, it's the finals, so we have to figure out what's the best way to utilize him.
I feel good. You know, my quad has come along. It's healed for the most part. I'm still whipping things into shape. You know, building the muscle endurance needed to, you know, play at a high level. So, but everything's coming along well.
Draymond Green has been one of Cousins' biggest supporters all season, but even the veteran acknowledges how difficult a situation Cousins is entering into.
He's probably played basketball, 16 of the last 19 months, you know, so that right there alone is a challenge in itself, and he doesn't have much playoff experience. And then you get dropped in the NBA Finals. It's kind of like some kid who grew up in like the suburbs going to private school, and then one day you just got dropped in the hood and was told to survive. Like,
we have 4 English players, which I think shows.
You gotta figure that out.
As Cousins and the rest of the Warriors answer questions on Media Day, Kevin Durant quietly made his way to the Raptors practice floor to continue his rehab. Steve Kerr noted that Durant still hasn't been cleared for contact in practice, and it remains unclear if Durant will return in this series. With the Warriors, I'm Nick Friedel, ESPN.
And I think it just
Nick, thank you. Cousins has played just under 800 minutes this season, meaning he's been on the bench over 83% of the time. Interesting to note, the Warriors have been 4.4 points better per 48 minutes with their big man off the floor. And the NBA Finals, they start tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC and ESPN Deportes, with the Warriors going for the three-peat and the Raptors in their first ever Finals. Toronto's going to be rocking. Our Game 1 coverage starts with NBA Countdown 8:30, and both can be seen streaming live on the ESPN app.